Yo, what's up? Did a little bit of golfing yesterday for Father's Day, and it got me thinking. About how I think about rotation in the human body and how the human body provides rotation for kind of athletic endeavors. So the way I think about it is a glass or cup of water like this. You have water in it, and you swirl it around, and the water rotates relatively nicely there. Not too shabby. Now, the human body has muscles, so it doesn't happen as neatly as this. So, and you can even see the swirl after you're done with it. So, imagine part of this being compressed. Now try to rotate it and swirl the water. It becomes much harder. So, that's sort of the representation in the human body. Now, the human body doesn't really have great muscles on the sides to compress us from the sides. It's mostly our big muscles on the front and back that kind of squeeze us front to back, and therefore we kind of widen. And that's exaggerated, like with heavy strength training. But to provide rotation and kind of this twist up through the body, kind of that I just represented with the glass or cup of water, you have to be able to compress front and back, and also so if I can compress from the back and expand on the same side on the back, then I can kind of provide that rotation up. So a very simple scenario is if I'm kind of swinging a golf club, I can compress on the back right side of my pelvis, and that's going to turn me, but I can only get that rotation if I can expand on the back side. Now, we're not just our pelvis, we have muscles that go all the way up too. So this sort of scenario has to happen all the way kind of up the chain. So if I'm compressing on the back, I have to be able to expand on the left side. I have to be able to expand on that side of the pelvis, and then essentially the opposite's happening in the front, or we want the opposite to happen in the front. Now, again, humans don't provide a super clean scenario like the glass of water, so there's going to be compression, and you can't move through compression. So if you can't get that scenario that I just talked about, you're not going to get kind of optimal rotation. So a lot of people are very compressed on the backside. So you can really see this when someone swings a bat or swings a club. Like the backside of their torso is kind of really flat and getting pushed forward, and you kind of got this big kind of wave moving forward out in front of you with the bat or with the club, and they can't really turn their hips or torso that much because they don't have enough expansion on the backside. So, like, best first step or kind of best case scenario to start implementing kind of better rotation might be to just get some expansion on the backside, kind of backside, the lower back, pelvis, and kind of backside of the rib cage as well. Now, another thing to consider is many people have kind of compensatory patterns, and they can still hit a golf ball very nicely straight ahead 400 feet. So we're not really trying to create a perfect scenario if we're trying to implement change and trying to create shape change in somebody. We're trying to perhaps provide a little bit of expansion or a little bit of movement somewhere so they can kind of optimize this rotation just a little bit, and that might lead them to getting a better swing on the golf club, better swing on the bat, which will provide more velocity on both of those implements, and therefore likely the ball as well. Now, again, if you pick your head up, I can't help you there, but that might be the result of decreased motion somewhere. And usually if you can create this nice scenario or as close to the scenario as possible in training an athlete in rotation, the implement will likely just follow. Now, if you can't create this sort of scenario, the implement might not follow like you want it to. So there are my thoughts as far as rotation, how the human body kind of tries to provide rotation. Do with that what you wish. I think that's kind of an easy way to understand it, in my opinion, and that's sort of how I think about it.